Alrighty, so my name is Sarah and I am going to show you different volume techniques with different dimensions. So we're going to start off with 0.10. I usually, as a beginner, would start with C curl just because it's the easiest to fan. So we're going to open it up. I'm going to pick up the lash out of the tray just like that. And so this being one of the biggest dimensions in volume, I would recommend, depending on the natural lash, making about 2 to 3 lashes in each fan. So I'm going to do the pick up and drop down method. So we're going to start by shaking up our glue. And if you don't have a glue shaker, you can just use your hand to manually shake it as well. And then we're going to get our glue dot holder. You're just going to put it in one of those little dots there. And we're going to pick up our volume tweezer. So if you're right-handed, you're going to hold your volume tweezer in your right hand. If you're left-handed, you're going to have it in your left hand. So I'm right-handed. So you're going to pick up off the strip. You're going to put your tweezer about halfway down the lash, and you're just going to pull it up like that. So that's the pick up, and then you drop it back down. And then you're going to use the tip of your tweezer to try to maneuver the lashes to fan it out. So with the tip of your tweezer, you're just going to shimmy them, move it back and forth until you create a fan you're happy with. You can also go in like this and try to open them up. I'm going to pull that over to the side if you need to. And then from here, this tends to be the hardest part, in my opinion, is picking it up off the strip. So you're going to come behind, you're going to clench it about halfway down. And now when you're picking it up, you want to make sure you have a really tight grip on your tweezer, and you're going to pull it up all in one motion up towards your nose. So just really quick movement. And from here, you're going to dip it in your adhesive and you're going to swipe it off. So if the base doesn't really fully come together, then I just recommend trying that again. It do happen, so we'll get rid of that one. And try it again. So pick up what you think is 2. If you pick up more than 2, sometimes it's hard to know or hard to just get 2 exactly. So if you pick up more than 2 or 3, or whatever it is you're trying to fan, then you can always just take the extra one and just kind of get rid of it. So we got 3 here. And up towards your nose. Dip it in your glue, and you're going to swipe off the excess adhesive. And just like that, beautiful little fan. So any fans you do make at home, I'd recommend you keeping them. So you can put them in your crystallizing storage container just to save them for later use. So you just drop it in like that once the adhesive dries. So that's the 0.10. The second biggest dimension we have in our line is 0.07. Oh, again, a good tip, always use your pickup tweezer when you're picking up the strips, like out of the package or whatever it is, just because we don't want to get any nicks in our volume tweezer, because the smallest little bend or nick in it, it's gonna throw your fanning right off and you're not gonna be able to fan properly. Oh. Okay. So these are 0.07. So depending on, again, the thickness and health of the natural lash, you could probably use about, I wouldn't go any more than probably 60 with the 0.07. So you're gonna pick up what you think is 6. And then sometimes that happens if there's not a whole lot of stickiness on your strip. So you're just gonna apply more pressure down there. And we are going to fan. So again, with the tip of your tweezer right along the base, you're just gonna maneuver them until you've got a fan that you're happy with. And this guy. So this is a 6D, and the same thing, come from the back, all in one motion, up towards your nose. If they're not together right now, it's okay. Once you dip them in the adhesive, they should all come and bond together. And then you're gonna swipe the residual off on your crystallizing sheet. And you get another pretty little fan. Okay. Now, I'm gonna do it 0.05. So once you get into the smaller dimensions, it is a good idea, well, with any of them really, just to give them a brush through, which I should have mentioned earlier. It just helps you fan them a bit easier. So give them a little brush. I'm gonna take out our lash. Also, another good tip is, so when starting off making these fans, try starting with a longer length in comparison to a smaller length, or sort of shorter length, because you'll find the shorter lengths are a little bit harder to do. But once you get the feel for it, then you can go back to trying the shorter lengths. Put this here so we can fan. Okay, so with 0.05, I tend to do about anywhere from maybe 8 to 10D, 6, 8, 10D, really up to you, but I wouldn't go any more than 10, depending on the width of the natural lash. So we're gonna pick that up and place it down. And again, just maneuver them until you get a pretty little fan. Back and forth. This one's 10D, meaning that there's 10 in the fan, of course. And you're gonna dip it in. And just gonna sweep it out. And got nothing. Okay, so now we're going to do 0.03. I can get this open with my nails. All right, so for 0.03, these are the finest lashes we have. So they're super, super thin. If I pick up one to show you here. So tiny, so tiny. Okay, so with these, I'd recommend anywhere from 10 to 12D, depending on the natural lash. So again, just kind of estimate, pick them up. I'm going to drop it down, pick it up. Okay, you're gonna have to hit this. Okay, and you're going to pick it up and then drop down. And then we're going to fan it. So for these ones, they don't need to be perfectly symmetric. Where it is 15, or sorry, 10 to 15. And dip it in. And sweep it off. Good. So 0.03 is mostly used for like a fuller volume or a mega volume. 0.05 can also be used for more so like medium to full volume. 0.07 you would use in a light volume, or you could also use it in a hybrid set. 0.10 you could also use in a hybrid set or a super light volume set. And yeah.